when you get in your marriage, things start happening that are totally different from what you were being told. The miscommunication, the non-communication, the fact that now everyone is free from each other is breaking the family. You might be living together but broken, you know that. But that is usually happening because the woman is afraid that the man is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. And so I know for that, I think it's because of the lack of men taking up responsibilities.
I had someone who told me, women do more than men right now because I work. I bring money to the table, I pay the bill. Hi everyone, how are you today? Thank you for joining us on this channel, In Family Ministries. My name is Miriangela Chezida.
And I'm Lillian Rantale Jones.
Yeah, here we like to talk about really family, like you hear, family issues, but how to live family according to the word of God, how to be children of God, good wives, good husbands, basically the principles of the Bible applied in daily life in the family. And yeah, let me allow my colleague to tell us what we are talking about today.
So lately, women have been living in a certain fear, kind of fear. There is a time we spoke about the first years of marriage, and what to expect in the first years of marriage. But then during that time, there are things that actually happen that you were not expecting. Now here is the overview of it. Most of the time, you meet your man, and he's the sweetest thing that has ever hit planet Earth. He gives you, like, you give him your hobbies, he gives you his hobbies, everything is in sync, you understand each other. When you ask for something, he's actually providing. That's before marriage now. Okay, before you start living together. You talk about things, you can see it. Yeah, he's showing you his responsibilities, what he's capable of doing, and what you're also capable of doing. And yeah, I think now you feel like it's the right time to move in. So you start living together. Now, for some people, that's marriage, of course, in church, in court, and all those kinds of things. So after that, I think there is a way things start shifting, and that is the man who used to be responsible. Like, let me say, I won't say responsible, the man who used to provide immediately doesn't provide immediately. The man who used to be there a call away isn't anymore. The woman who was respectful isn't anymore. The woman who showed that they cared a lot, everything for the man, isn't what they are. And so the fear starts coming in. So that is what we want to talk about. The fear that is growing in women, that the men are no longer responsible. Because of that, women have actually gone on this thing, the thing of women power. Women can do all things by themselves. Because me, I know in my heart that no woman wants to toil. You get, no woman wants to go and start sweating all over the place when they have a husband. Apart from, of course, those ones who were built to be strong women, you get. But there are those women who don't really want to suffer. I want my man to take care of me. I want him to baby me. I want him to be responsible for me. As for me, I'm busy giving like the care of the child. I'm taking care of the child. I'm taking care of things and all those other kinds of things. So that is what we want to talk about, because it's a fear that is happening among women of not being taken care of. So they do other things because they feel like their men have not
stepping up.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I think for me, it's that there's an expectation that women have that their men are not going to step up.
Yeah.
And it's a taught insecurity. We are taught to be insecure in our relationships with men. And excuse me. And the men are being programmed to let the women kind of wander off and do their thing. And that creates division. in the home.
Mm.
If you watched the video where we talked with a guest called Peter Muhire, he said something crucial. He said, a man has a vision, a woman comes to help with the vision. So basically, you're both moving together towards one goal. Right now, the vision thing is not even on the table at all, most times. It's that thing of you meet him, sweetheart, he's amazing, or he woos you and he succeeds, or you trap him and you are successful in trapping him.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh, finally I have a man. But the thing you've said of women wanting to be taken care of, it's real. Like,
Yeah.
there's over maybe unless something happened to you, but you want, even if you were a strong independent woman, for some reason you still want the man to give you that side money. So and there is a narrative going around in the world that actually that's not supposed to happen. I think majority, I would say in the West, they say, you know, let's share the bill. Let's, you know, bring some, I bring some. So that creates already an insecurity. I mean, if I have to cater for my side of the bill, you know, but that again goes back to the evil plan of the devil to create division in our home.
So I think for me, is it okay for a wife to be vulnerable? Because they have actually raised us, showing us, you woman, you're supposed to be this way. A man is not supposed to treat you a certain way. But then when you get in your marriage, things start happening that are totally different from what you were being taught while being raised, because everyone is raised from different backgrounds. So when you reach in your marriage and you see that a man is not actually taking responsibility, do you just keep quiet and be like, let me, okay, show him that I can do it? Or do you actually sit with him and tell him, husband or friend, no, let me say husband, this and this has been happening? Do you think it's okay to talk about it, or are you going to just go and do your own thing? You get what I'm saying? Because this has caused a lot of families breaking, where a man does his thing and the woman does her thing, but they're living together. They are raising the children together, but they do not have the same vision. So this alone, that the miscommunication, the non-communication, the fact that now everyone is free from each other is breaking the families. But that is usually happening because the woman is afraid that the man is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. And I know people might say that it's not fear, it's the need to stand up, it's the need to to show men that we can also do things on our own. But as you've said, a woman will always desire a man's recognition, regardless of how strong you are. So for me, I think that it's better for your family not to break, because you might be thinking that you're very independent, your husband is giving you the freedom to do what you want. Kumbe, it's not a full family. You're neglecting your children in the situation. The children are not seeing father and mother playing their roles. They are seeing adults trying to make
Living together.
Yes, living together and trying to make ends meet. Because this one is bringing, but the children in between are not actually receiving what they are supposed to be receiving. So that brings about the breaking up of family. You might be living together but broken, you know that. So for that, I think it's because of the lack of communication and the lack of men taking up responsibilities, and for women not allowing to be vulnerable in their husbands.
To be weak.
Yes, to be weak, because you want to show that I can also do it by myself. Sometimes when you show a man that you can do it, he will let you.
Actually, I think, I don't know who said this. I don't know whether it was our spiritual father who said this, that, no, maybe not. I heard it somewhere that if you give him the permission not to work, he won't.
Yeah.
Because he does not want.
Yeah.
Those who do it, either they love it or they're driven by something. I think there's a man I know who always says, I work for my family. I toil, I get up early, I do what I do for my family, because something clicked in him that I'm supposed to do this. And when you were speaking, I felt like this is a conversation that needs to be taken from all sides. The men need to be told, really, like, this is your job.
Yeah.
When God chased Adam from the garden, he told Adam, you're going to toil. He didn't
Yeah,
tell
he
Eve.
didn't tell
He
Eve.
told Eve, you'll have children in pain. Everyone with their role.
Yeah.
So if the man is supposed to toil and provide, why are you not letting him? And again, for me, it goes back to pride. And pride is refusing to conform to the position that you're supposed to be. If a woman is called to be a wife in a home and a caregiver and a provider and a caregiver, natural raiser of the children, but she doesn't want to do that, and the husband is like, no, me, when I grew up, my mother never sat around doing nothing, because they call it sitting around and doing nothing. Then you're already giving permission for your wife to not do it, to not conform, and you are refusing to conform because you have a certain view of what life is supposed to look like, and you're forcing your wife to toil for you so that you can achieve this vision of what you think life is supposed to look like. And in this, you're neglecting the children. Me, I believe right now, in the generation we live in, people actually believe these things to be true. Like, you can both do your own things. I support you in your thing, you support me in my thing, but we are essentially living together. And the small frictions you have, which you think are small frictions, are actually the big issues, because you're not working together. And like you said, it all goes back to a lack of security and a lack of trust. A man who is depending on his wife to make sure they are met, he's not trusting in God as his provider. And why? Because he has he's like, in my life, I must travel 2 times a year. But he can't afford to travel 2 times a year.
Yeah.
So he makes the wife toil so that she can
do that.
They can cover up. But if you just go through life and do the thing that God actually wants you to do, you may find yourself even having way more than traveling 2 times a year, if that's what God wants. But because he's not surrendered to that, he's not conforming. And again, I feel like even the real heart of all of this is the desire for things we should not have. I would say should not have, because if you should have them, God would make sure you have them. Adam and Eve were told, don't eat from this tree. They had everything, but they went for the thing they didn't have. There's always that lust of the more, and that's what is causing people to do what we're talking about. There's a lack of security because you've built some unimaginable desire in your head that you're working towards, that God never said is yours. It's not what you're supposed to have, and because of that, you don't conform, and you have fears, and those fears, they drive you. You wake up early in the morning, and because you built a wall, now you're not able to sustain it. You're toiling way beyond what you're supposed to do. Women have been taught for a long time, you don't be weak, don't depend on him, because depending is being weak. But the Bible says the woman is the weaker vessel. Are you stronger than the word of God?
No.
Are you going to say, I am not the woman in that Bible? They are saying me as me.
But people, of course, give those examples, those silly excuses of how for them they are not those women in the Bible. Yet the Bible clearly says, and if it clearly says, that means it is the truth.
Yeah.
So I think I want to shout out to the men out there, because most of the men have pushed their women. Some women don't want to work, but men are pushing their wives to go and work instead of the wife being home. And then I think the other thing I wanted to say about this whole situation is, oh my God. Because since it's about responsibility, I think it's more of men taking up their responsibilities. Because if I'm not living in fear that my man is not going to take care of me other children, I don't see the reason as to why I should go and do what he doesn't want me to do. You get in that way, because remember, we women are fixers. That is something that I wanted to tell. A woman will follow a man's vision, okay? up to a certain point, which is if she sees that the man has left the vision, if she says that this man is no longer walking the vision he showed her, that's when things in the woman's head start, the workmen start working.
The alarm bells are
You get
going off.
it becomes loud all of a sudden. It becomes messy all of a sudden because he has taken away what she was believing in. He has not worked with, or he's not actually fulfilling the vision. Because remember, when you're marrying me, you're telling me your vision. You've told me your vision, how we are going to live our life. And then all of a sudden, you're off your vision. It's obvious my brain is going to be worked up. But then I will need you to continue telling me that we are still on that vision. I have not forgotten. This is what is going on. But most of the times, men forget to include their wives, and they do as they please. And I'm not saying ask for what is it called? Permission. No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm saying include your wife. Show them that, by the way, wife, I know you're saying this and this has changed, but this is what's going on. I don't want to come to you and tell me, so what's going on? I ask you what's going on and you tell me I don't know. Oh, you get that is really going to mess up with me, because it's messing with me. I will have to find a way out. That's why I'm calling us fixers. I want to find a way out. If my husband can't do it, that means I have to do this. So you wake up in the night thinking of the plan of how to help your husband or how to get out of the situation. And sometimes you might end up making mistakes. Sometimes you might end up being rebellious towards your husband. Sometimes you might end up even being angry at him. You get it? You're like, this man has no brain. What is he thinking? He told me this. That's how women are. I think all women are sees. Because for us, I want you to stay on your vision. If there is any add-ins or cutouts, tell me. In that way, I am not going to feel insecure. I am not going to start thinking things of this man, what is he thinking right now? I think for me, this is the vision of this whole conversation. Is men do not blindside your wives, you get, and women always look out for the positive part of, maybe this is happening because of this, until he tells you stay positive. I know it messes with our heads when a man comes and tells you, I don't know the plan. That word is a bit, why it throws off. So you start thinking, you start trying to take responsibility. Now you want to be the man in the house because for you feel like you know the plan. So I think for me, that's the vision of this whole conversation of, keep me looked in. Do not forsake me. Do not throw me out. Do not show me that if you don't have money to take care of me today, tell me but I'm working on it. Don't just say, muri bakulu mwerabirire. That a bit throws me off, and I'll start planning and thinking of how to get out of the situation.
Yeah. I think what I would want to bring into this conversation is, we are talking about insecurity.
Yes.
So what I would like to say, if we are assuming you're born again, that you know God, let him be your security, number one. Let him be your first security. Because even if you can't trust this husband who is blindsided you, you can trust God, because God has a spirit inside of him that can work on your behalf. If you've put your security in anything else but God, already you made the first mistake. You made the first mistake, but by putting your security in the man or in money. Right now, money is showing itself strong in the world, and everybody wants to have money as a security, because they think, if I have money, okay, even if all the world's problems come, at least I have money. If the children fall sick, I have money. If this happens, I have money. Like, money is our security. And so when you are disobeying and doing those side things, whichever one of you two, because you want to have money, because money is your security, I would like to tell you to go back and secure yourself in the Lord, because the Bible says money makes wings for itself and it flies away. You cannot depend on money. The economy can crash, you can lose your job, you can get an accident, and you're an invalid. Like, we need to change what we are looking at as security. Because to be sure, I have talked to so many born again women. These are not the ones in the world. They say they are God's children. But anytime you tell them, so what do you think about doing this? How about taking care of your children? Like, isn't it easy to mother? Can't do that. We need money. We need the money. Or some men actually are lazy. They don't want to take care of their wives. They don't want to pay the price. So they make their wives work to cover their end of the bargain. And let me tell you, when you do that with your wife, you are creating a problem for yourself.
She's a man now.
You've done it. You are the one who has done it. You're telling her you must have money. I don't want you. Okay.
Provide for yourself.
Now she should ask you for permission.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best. You have empowered her to be independent, but she must ask for permission when she's going places.
Yeah.
When she has the money, she has the what?
She does half of what
you're
doing.
You know, some of your men are funny, by the way. You sit in your circles and you quarrel. My wife doesn't listen to me. My wife, Nayenga, half of the things in her life, she's paying half the bills.
Yeah.
I had someone who told me, women do more than men right now because I work. I bring money to the table. I pay the bills. I do. So we should make decisions together. Then you're angry because she's challenging you because you've empowered her.
Yeah.
And then you're like, she's not submitting. You did this to yourself. And okay, I'm not trying to do that. And also now, wives, I think we really need to get back to our roots. For the sake of your children, for the sake of your families, my heart breaks for children who are just left around with maids, with daycare, all because you want to be strong. You want to have security. You can't be weak. Because if you take care of your children, you're weak. You don't have money. I mean, I must ask for money for sanitary towels. What? Like I must at least have something
for myself.
But that's not what that's not what God said. And now I want to make this very plain that the church is the bride of Christ. And the church is, and we, let me not say the church because some of you will be like, oh yeah, like the other church in the corner. I want you to picture yourself. You are the bride of Christ. You're supposed to depend on Him to provide for you. And He said He will give you food and clothing. He said He gives, actually even that saying in Matthew 6:33, it says they go after clothing and water. He doesn't say anything else. Apart from that. So His obligation is to provide for you food and clothing daily. This is biblical, by the way. Meaning, all these other things you're looking for are outside of what He said He will do. And He does if you rest in Him. But you have your own desires because of what you've seen other people have. So you're like, no, I need to have a house over my head. By the way, Jesus never said house. I want to have a car. Jesus never said donkey or car. I want to have, like, the things you want to have. And by the way, these desires are not evil.
Yeah.
It's when you have that desire, what do you do about it?
Yeah.
Do you go to God and be like, I actually desire this? Or do you be like, yeah, I've prayed. Then you go on the side and begin providing for yourself. We talked about disobedience.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate disobedience when God has not given you permission to go and provide for yourself,
and you do
and then you do it because you as the bride are supposed to be dependent on Him. Now you go, you do your own things, then after you come and you're like, but Jesus, help me with this and this, and He's like, also you're over making it easy for the devil to attack you every time I'm coming to save you because you are not where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So now if you picture that, because we also we love Jesus, right? And then we're like, but Jesus doesn't want me to suffer. He died and He paid it all. I mean, what do you mean? Listen, if you could just think about it, like think about what we are talking about, really meditate and think about what the Bible says about a wife all the wives and all the husbands in the Bible. Whatever, even Deborah, who was a whole judge, she didn't have a side business that I know of. We like to highlight the Proverbs 31 woman, but that lady, people, she worked at her home. She wasn't
Under
getting
her husband.
a briefcase every morning and disappearing
Yeah.
for 8 hours. No. Okay. I think I may. Am I still on the topic? I don't
Yes,
know.
you are, but I want to make a claim for them, for the working women. We are not actually beating them.
No.
It's okay to work. It's not evil,
Yes.
because I mean, you're working for your family and all. So we are not trying to pin you down and make you feel like, oh my God, I'm evil, I'm not listening to God. Because most of the time, God has told them to go and work. Or if your husband really wants you to work, it's okay, you're under submission.
Yes.
Go and work. But the part where they tell you not to work, but you go and work either way, that is, you have to sit down and think about that.
Yeah.
But it's not really wrong for someone to work. We wouldn't want you to think that we are
You must
against
now
working
sit down
women.
at home.
You're not evil. It's just we are talking and giving you another side of what it is to be obedient, what security is, because as you have said, trust. You have to trust in God. When your husband tells you sit and you hear from God, and let me say God. When God tells you to sit and do not work, it's not the devil. Don't cast him out in Jesus'
We cast
name.
that in the name of Jesus.
That means you have to trust that God is going to provide for you. So be the housewife that you're supposed to be. It is not wrong to be a housewife. It is not wrong to go and work.
To depend on your husband
It's
fully.
not wrong to do anything, like if it's in God, sincerely. If God has told you to sit, if your husband, your authority has told you to just take some time off work and then find peace in it, there is no need for you to even be afraid, because that means by the time they've told you, they know they'll be able to take care of you. So the way you've been highlighting how most of the men are lazy and they want their women to work for them, it's because they are lazy. They don't want help. They don't want the responsibility that you come with. They want you to handle your side as they also handle their side, which is wrong. They have to handle all sides. So if you're living that kind of life whereby you are working and your husband is working, you're providing and he's providing, it's not evil. Just check what the Lord is telling you in that particular moment. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you too.
So you've addressed the thing of not working, like it's not evil, it's not of the devil.
Yeah.
If God has sent you, if your husband has sent you, if you're under authority, you're protected, you're doing well, it's fine.
Yeah.
But now there are those who are working and out of insecurity, they are hiding their money.
Oh, sorry.
And they have justifications for it. They say my husband will squander all this money if there knows.
Yeah, that is a thing. It happens, by the way.
Now, look, I have not been in a situation where I've hidden money because of that kind of thing. But like I said, if your trust is in the Lord, please talk to God about this thing.
Yeah.
Pray for your husband. Banange. We are always telling, you find in church, pray for your husband, pray for a good husband. When you're praying for a man, pray for a man who is wise.
Exactly.
Who's wise with money. And if your husband is not wise with money, pray for him. Talk to him. And of course, some of them may not listen, but you pray. Like we are Christians here. We are weak. When the bride, we are the bride is weak. Like when they say the woman is the weaker vessel, the bride is the weaker vessel. Meaning we need God's help.
Yeah.
So don't help God by hiding and then opening a giant door for the devil to enter the house and sit. And he's like, thank you so much for that.
I know, right?
Because that giant secret you're keeping is going to swallow the whole house.
Yeah.
You're hiding your money because you are afraid that, maybe he's not even a bad guy, but you've been told that you must protect yourself. Always be protected. Always be covered. Money cannot protect you from a heartbreak. It never will. It never can. If he's going to do whatever evil you are afraid he's going to do, your heart will still be broken. And some of you are like, yeah, but I'll still be in Maldives. My dear, Maldives is not going to heal your heart.
That is funny.
Because what you're doing is allowing the devil to have a hold in your heart and in your home using money. But you sleep with this man, your body.
Yep.
You know he can roll over you and like smother you to death and then check your account and steal your money. Like it's so evil. Anyway,
Yeah.
what I wanted to talk about in this is that if he's let you work, be open with everything you're making.
Yeah.
Don't be selfish. If he's asking you to work, he probably has a good reason why. And if you're open about it, he will know how to use the, like, okay, what's the point of you working if you're not going to bring the money home? That's also another question I ask. If if you are working because he said, and then you're doing it and then you're hiding the money, so what is the point of your sacrifice?
Just having money.
I know, but like in the long run scheme of things, so we are a generation of parents that did this, and so we have that mindset. Right now, you can throw a stone at a woman in a crowd, and you will get one who has that thought, who has had to either unlearn it or maybe not. Now, me, I want to share my story. I grew up with a single mother, hardworking woman. She built a house with her own money, like not a small house. Now I get married, I'm like, yeah, I mean, women, we work. We are called, I mean, I can do it. I am strong. You see me?
Yeah.
Then the Lord just kind of locked me in and I did. But let me tell you, depending takes strength.
Yeah.
It takes a strength that you do not have. Only God can strengthen you to depend. To the extent that even the most inner needs, you're like, I really need money for this. I really need money for that. That is strength.
You
it's
have
not
to report
weakness.
everything.
At first, I used to be like, now I have to ask for permission because I have to ask for money. And I had a rebellious heart that in my heart, I knew if I had the money, try and stop me. And I'm sure that's how many of us are. And God is working on that kind of heart in us. Like, you're not submissive because you have a choice. You're submissive because you have no choice. The moment money enters your pocket, like but depending is you being secure.
Yeah.
I just want to bring this full circle. The opposite of insecurity is not security. It is depending on God. That you depend on God, you depend on your husband, you become weak. Because when you are weak, you are strong. Jesus told Paul, in your weakness, I am strong. So when you're busy being strong, you're weak.
Yeah.
Because you think that you have everything together. When you're weak, you are strong. I learned to be weak. And now my husband is like, I have to be around and provide. Like, what will my family do? What will happen to my family? And there's that whole thing, the 5-finger analogy of men, Sonia, provide, protect, present.
Don't know.
P, prophet, and priest. P, prophet. But the provide is the biggest. If you don't give him the desire to provide, he's not going to. You have to put him on the thing of, we really need you. He needs to be needed. And that's how God is. He needs to be needed. He can be around and you don't need him. But when you need him, what won't he do? And that would be your man. Or that would be you, man, if you actually allow to be needed and get rid of the fear. Because even the men have that insecurity that, what if I can't do it? What if I can't take care of my family like this? What if what if I fail? And then they are like, we need to do this together. And even if you send her to work, but you're still the one, like she knows she has you behind her. Like she's not standing for the both of you, or like you're depending on her, she's depending on you. No, she depends on you. Even if she's the worker bee. She still depends on you. Yeah.
I think that is something that's a bridge that should should be crossed most of the time, because most of the women fear that. But then if they learn the sweetness in it, I think it helps them to grow as a family. But then what I want to also point out is there are some women who do not really want to work, but because their peers are really, pushing them to and tell them you have to work, and their husbands have no problem with whether they are working or not, it's okay. But because of the peers around them, they're like, you have to work. What will you do if you get it? If your husband tells you it's okay, if you want to work, it's okay. If you don't want to work, it's also okay. Do not listen to your peers. Listen to your husband. Because some women, sincerely, some women don't want to work. I had a friend. She would say, Manang, if my husband ever tells me stop working, I will bow down to him and kiss his feet. I was like, oh my God. So some women, they're out there, they do not really want to wake up early in the morning and start toiling. You get it? But because the society has shown us other ways, we're really ashamed. Do not be ashamed in not working. If you don't want to work, if your husband is really taking responsibility of you, see it. Are they going to take you to jail because you're not working? I mean, you live in your house. And
It's so funny that literally the Church of God does nothing. It's
Yeah.
not supposed, like, yeah, we go, we fight those battles. Okay, who do you think is fighting those battles? Is it you?
It's Jesus. It's the
Jesus
angels.
is fighting, the angels are fighting. All you have to do is speak.
Yeah.
And that's what a wife does. You know that marriage is a picture of Christ and the church, and it's a mystery because people don't get it. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
But the wife of Jesus, yes, she's a warrior queen, what, but she doesn't hustle.
She doesn't hustle. She doesn't work. She's a bride.
She depends on her bridegroom, and she goes where he tells her. And you see, she is his helpmate because she goes through all sorts of things with him. It doesn't mean she's a pampered princess who sits on the castle. No, the princess of Jesus, the bride, she goes through things. She fights battles. The enemy attacks her. Things happen to her. But her bridegroom is alive, is there to take care of her. She doesn't suffer as much as you would think, because at the end of it all, she knows there is a crown at the end of this all. Now, when you wife are going through some hardships because you chose to depend on your husband, it's not a punishment.
It's not.
God is not punishing you. And if people are telling you God is punishing you, those people are lying to you.
Yeah.
They don't want you to prosper in what you're called to prosper in. But when you weather the storms besides your husband, let me tell you, that man will honor you because you chose to respect him and wait on him and depend on him, and God will bless that household. Why does the Bible say if a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing? Because of that.
Yeah.
Because when you find that woman who will just stand beside you, no matter what, this world, Jesus said, will have trouble. Even if you do everything you can, trouble will find you. You can't escape trouble.
Yeah.
There's no kind of security you can have that can keep you from trouble, because Jesus said, in this world you will have trouble. So because of that, be where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And everyone with their responsibilities. Because most of the times, responsibilities are neglected because someone who's supposed to take care of their responsibilities is not really where they're supposed to be. So I think what I've got out of this conversation is trust God. Trust God with all your heart. Do not leave out any loopholes or plan B's or A's or C's. Just trust God and He will come through for you. I think that's my take home.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Do not forget to share. Do not forget to like. And do not forget to come back
Next Thursday.
Yes.
Bye.